What's up everyone, Pick6 back today, and today I'm going to give you another tutorial on how to become a better long-range sniper. What I'm also going to do is add to my other sniping tutorial, which I'll include in the link, points that I previously may have overlooked or maybe just didn't explain well enough. My other tutorial basically covered the basics of sniping and covered more medium, short-range shots and tricks for those. But this one will be for long ranges, and I mean like 400 or 500 meters and above. Now, firstly, to those out there that believe I'm enabling people to go away from the objective and shoot, hoping for long-range shots, I have two things to say. I've always believed that if a person buys the game for the amount of money they spend, they should be able to do whatever the hell they want, whenever they want, how they're doing it, as long as they have fun. If they want to lose but get far shots, sure, it's frustrating being their teammate, but so be it. They paid, they can do whatever the fuck they want. I'm not going to tell anyone how to play the game. This tutorials teach you how to do skills alone. That's my second point. Whatever happens after that's up to the individual. I just want people to learn how to long range snipe. As usual, first thing you should do is set up your kit for maximum effectiveness. The gun I use most for extreme long range sniping is the M98B. It has a damage rating of 95 to 59, making it the most damaging sniper rifle in the game. It also has got the furthest range, with the Battlefield Wiki being my source, credible or not, listing its maximum range of 3,250 meters. The only drawback to it is it has a slow rate of fire for follow-up shots because it's bolt action, and it's the slowest bolt action. However, the damage makes up for it. That's why it's my gun of choice. If you do not have it unlocked, or just plain don't like it, the SV98, the M40A5, and the L96A1 on the back to Karkland maps are all very capable guns as well. A quick point to remember about all of these guns that these ones I just listed have damage ratios of 75 to 55, so they're not as powerful as the M98B. They do not have as far range either, but unless you're going for the farthest shot on YouTube, you won't be at a disadvantage. If you're aiming for head instead of two body shots, these guns will do you just fine. That's as an alternative to the M98B. For any sniper rifle, going back to setting up kits, I always choose the 12x scopes, especially if the point of this video is long range sniping. The 12 lets you see a target more clearly without the scope obstructing the target. I find the 8x does obstruct the target over longer ranges. That's why I prefer the 12. I almost always use the straight pull bolt so that I don't need to leave my scope if I missed a shot and need a quick follow-up shot. It's very convenient unlock and it helps immensely. I do not use the bipod because I feel I don't need it, and I like the idea of being able to provide a quick follow-up shot while staying in my scope. And I also don't like scoping and unscoping after every shot unless the target's moving. I'll talk to that in a bit. Plus, when the match later switches to more medium or short range shots, I find the bipod hurts you. That's just my preference though. It's up to you. For my third tier, I usually leave it blank. Using the tactical light or laser gives away your position if you're traveling or aiming and forget to turn it off. The laser to me interferes with the crosshair and can be distracting. Maybe that's just me, but I find that. A silencer's nice so infantry can't detect you if you're shooting in their spawn or in a dangerous area, but it reduces range, increases bullet drop, and isn't as damaging. There are too many cons for me to use it. As I state in every tutorial though, it's purely your preference. With regards to sidearms, I use the M9 Tactical because it has a large clip, or 18 rounds, to deal with multiple people if you get in that dangerous scenario, or the G18. For this tutorial at least, I'm going to be using the M98B, the 12x scope, the straight pull bolt, non-silenced, and with no light or laser attachment. First tip is to find cover and find it away from where the main battle is occurring. If you're planning on sniping long range in the mode rush, set up further back from the MCOM so you're not killed by vehicles or infantry that slip by your teammates. Use the cover the game provides, whether it be rocks or buildings, as cover. As stated in the other tutorial, try not to go prone very much, If another sniper sees you, he only has your head to aim at because it will be the only area exposed. If you're on an angle, maybe your feet, but he's going to aim for your head. The only advantage to going prone is being able to use the bipod attachment, which is very beneficial for rookies trying to learn how to snipe over long ranges. You also cannot get away quickly if you're in danger when you use the bipod or when you're prone. Stay standing behind. My preference is to stay standing behind cover. This gives you a quicker getaway option and gives far less surface area to hit. Second, once you're set up, first look for obvious sniper areas. There'll usually be elevated areas between rocks on a hill. If it's in rush mode, they'll try and stay at their spawn. If you don't see them by scoping in, try rapidly hitting the spot button. You'll have them pop up when you do this. Make sure to spot everything as well. You want to help out your team, especially if you're going for long range kills alone. The next thing you'll be doing is aligning the exact vertical portion of the crosshair directly over your target. If you're slightly to the left or to the right, you'll miss, because even the slightest bit of deviation from center at this range turns, say, a 1 millimeter off on your scope to several meters missed on your target. At short range, being off a millimeter doesn't matter, because it'll be the difference between hitting the top of his head or the bottom of his head. It'll still be a one-hit kill. This is where having the bipod, if you're new, helps you a ton. The next part is the trickiest part of long-range shots. It's estimating bullet drop. Once you have the horizontal aspect of your crosshair, which is the vertical part I just talked about, I know it can be confusing, but I'll show you in the video, it'll make sense. Estimate how far up you will place the center of your crosshair above the target. The further you are away from your target, the higher the crosshair goes. This may take you a few shots to figure out the range, even for advanced snipers. The most important part, however, is that you stay in your scope and track where the bullet travels after you shoot. Basketball players would call this the follow-through. If you're too low, adjust your crosshair higher. If you're too high, adjust it lower. After every shot, make the necessary adjustment until you either hit the target or he runs away. I've had plenty of encounters where I'll just miss a guy. Like he must hear the whiz of the bullet go by his head, and he'll do the smart thing and run away. Frustrating for you as a sniper that wants kills, but to be honest with you, if he's using smart strategy and running away, good on him. Two little quick points to remember as well. Always hold your breath the second you're aligning the gun. That way it'll hold your crosshair steady and you don't have to fight to adjust it on the fly. It seems obvious, but a lot of people don't bother to, especially when they're in a fight, a dog fight in sniping. I'll just refer to it as a dog fight. Another key point, and this applies even if you're using the straight pull bolt like me, is to scope out if a target is moving, especially short range, if you've missed or you've hit a body shot. This is important because if you're in, say, an area with lots of cover, staying in the scope gives you a very refined area to look, and if he suddenly goes behind cover, you can't see him anymore. When you scope out, you can see where he is. This applies more for shorter range and medium range shots, however. On the long range, you can stay scoped in because there's a good chance you're still going to be able to see him move wherever he goes inside of your scope. It's important if you stay scoped in, you run the risk of losing him behind cover. That's just a key point to keep in mind. A trick that I use to gauge ranges is that anything below 200 meters with the M98 to aim directly at him. Bullet drop won't be that significant and drastic at this range yet. At anything from 3 to 500 meters, you should aim somewhere between the crosshair and the first line directly below the crosshair. 700 and above shots are somewhere between the first line below the crosshair and the second line below. This is a very rough estimate I've found. And keep in mind, I can't give you an exact explanation of exactly where to aim because each circumstance is different. Where in the space you aim depends on your range, your elevation of you, your elevation of the target, and the gun you're using. Lastly, keep in mind practice makes perfect, just like any other skill you wish to develop. Also, as much as you can do as you wish because it's your game and no one should influence how you play, at least spot and try to help out your team as much as possible when you're going for these long range shots. Teamwork wins games in Battlefield. I found I can win matches myself all the time going lone wolf in Modern Warfare, but I've had matches in Battlefield where I go 50-10 or 30-0 and I'd lose. So Battlefield's a more team-based game, and everyone doing as much as they can helps a ton. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, leave a like. If you're new, subscribe. Take a look at my other tutorials, and until next time, I'll see you later.